Hey everybody, this is Doug with Compass Off-Road Exploration. So I'm up here in Dahlonega, Georgia, and I'm going down what my GPS is telling me is Blue Ridge Road, and it's also coming up as National Forest Road 422. This is the beginning of the trailhead right here of the road. And there used to be a sign here, which is now gone, that said four-wheel drive, high clearance only. So I have never come down this way. I've heard from some other people that it isn't anything too big, but there's also a couple of camp spots right here at this intersection. And this is where the Appalachian Trail cuts through. So I'm thinking that they just don't want people in an ordinary like SUV or vehicle to head down this road and then have to turn around is my guess, but we'll see what it looks like. All right, so this is still just the beginning of this road, and as you can see, I mean, it's fine right now, so we'll see what it gets to look like as we keep going. But it's just a pretty regular dirt road at this point. Alright, so we're about 2 miles in on Blue Ridge Road here, and just past, looks like 2 campsites on the left there. So we're heading west on Blue Ridge Road, and like I said, we just reached 2 miles and I just passed 2 campsites, and it looked like a little ways back there was another one on the left as well. So there are some camping spots on this road if you're interested in that. And the one that we just passed did have like a little pull-off area, so you could get off the road a little bit, but the sites are pretty much on the road. Not that there's going to be a lot of traffic, but there's another small campsite right there, 2.1 miles in. And according to my map, it looks like there's going to be a few more on this road as well. So looks like there's definitely some camping opportunities. But as you can see, so far, again, we're 2 miles in. Hasn't been the need for four-wheel drive at all. We'll see if that changes. But right now, it's a pretty tame dirt road. All right, so we're going to be approaching an intersection up here, and looks like it's Rock Creek Road goes to the right, and National Forest 42 goes to the left. And there's a parking area also here. Not sure which trail this is here, but so far, like I said, this, I don't know why. I mean, maybe that's why that sign isn't there anymore. Maybe they graded the road. But it was fine. You didn't need four-wheel drive at all. It's 3.4 miles to where we are now. And I'm going to stop here and figure out which way I want to go. Alright, so I figured out that after zooming in that this is actually another trailhead for the Appalachian Trail here. Appalachian Trail, however you want to pronounce it. But we went left to stay on National Forest 42, which I know I said it was Blue Ridge Road earlier, but it's actually showing on the map as Hightower Gap Rd. So I don't know if it changed at some point, or I'm going to go with the one on my map. I use Gaia GPS mapping software, which is usually pretty accurate. So I'm going to go with that and say that this road is actually Hightower Gap Rd. right, so we're 7.1 miles in. Like I said, just an update on the road conditions. It's fine. I mean, two-wheel drive is not an issue. We came to an intersection here at 7.1 miles. To the right is Three Forks Road, which I've never been down that. And if we continue straight, this is FS 42, and it turns into Springer Mountain Road, which leads you to one of the main trail accesses for the Appalachian Trail. To the left over here, just bearing to the left, is Winding Stair Gap Rd, and that is what I'm going to take, because that's starting to head back south, back towards home. So I'm going to take that. I don't think I've done Winding Stair Gap Rd, so we'll see what that's like. I've heard of it, I just can't remember what I heard about it. I just remember hearing the name. But this is the Blue Ridge Wildlife Management Area as well, just to give you an idea of where we're at. And there's also, I'm looking at, it looks like there's another trail that breaks off to the right there that is not showing on my map, so I'm not sure what that is. So if you wonder why I always have a chainsaw with me, here's an example of why. I mean, this has already been cut up, but you never know when you're gonna run into deadfall on some of these back trails, and I don't want to have to turn around and go all the way back out. I will say I've only used my chainsaw probably 3, maybe 4 times, but I mean, I was, you know, 6 or 7 miles in on a road and you end up with a tree across it. You need to cut it up, and I'd rather do that and get it out of the way and just keep going than have to deal with turning around. But we're 3 miles in on Winding Stair Gap Rd, and it's nothing too difficult at all. It's a nice little road, especially if you're new to going off-road. It's pretty tame. Gets, you know, a little rocky here and there, but nothing extreme or major by any means. I'll let you know if any of that changes, but you can see actually right now that it's pretty tame, pretty smooth. All right, we just got down to this intersection, and at the end of Winding Stair Gap, which turns into FS 281. And what I'm doing is I'm looping around here onto 281. This is gonna actually bring me right back next to almost where I started out, at least over in Dahlonega. So I basically just did a big circle, and it says it's like another 3.5 miles. So far total, we did 12 miles, 12.3 miles. So almost 16 miles of some pretty tame but nice dirt roads. You know, definitely passed quite a few camping spots. But I'll start going down here. But I don't remember 281 being, I think I'd been down here a little bit before. And I'm pretty sure it's just a dirt road of what you're seeing right now. Alright, so we're getting back out to Hightower Church Road. So that's going to end this little trip. But just to put it in perspective, one of my other videos showed you Cooper Gap Road and Camp Merrill, where the Army Rangers train. So that's where we're coming back out to, is we're just going to be just down the road from there. So nothing crazy at all. Very, very simple.